here's what I say, what a reform, given the sort of the goals I've laid out and given kind of the way I think about these things, here's what a reform might look like that would satisfy these goals. The first is the government will provide a universal flat benefit at the poverty line. And this would go to everybody regardless of their earnings, regardless of their labor force participation. There would be no means test on it. It would be a universal benefit. The idea here is that first, it's simple to predict. I mean, it's people can't predict their Social Security benefits, but if you tell everyone you're going to get a benefit at the poverty line, even Americans can figure out what that means. And second is, over the long term, that actually costs a lot less than the current program does. We currently pay out something like $725 billion in Social Security benefits each year. We have a poverty rate among seniors of somewhere around 10%. Essentially, over the long term, this would cost maybe about 8 or 9% of payroll, probably less than that, and you'd have essentially a poverty rate among seniors of 0. So, I sometimes read people saying, oh, Social Security, the most effective anti-poverty program ever. I was like, look, for half the price, you can have 0% of the poverty. It's not that effective. So you have essentially, this is similar to what, like New Zealand has something very close to this. Some other countries do it on a kind of modified basis. But it just says, look, if we don't want to have people living in poverty in retirement, we're going to give everybody a poverty level benefit. On top, so nobody's going to get less than the poverty level benefit. Nobody's going to get more than that from the government. On top of that, though, you are going to have universal defined contribution retirement accounts, automatic enrollment in 401ks, things of that sort. The example here is I assume everybody invests 5% of their earnings in the account. You could split that among employer, employee. I don't particularly care. But the point here is first, that's going to be real savings that helps the economy. Second, because people see it as their own money, the sort of the work incentives are going to be stronger for them. Most people today see their money going into Social Security as a tax, and they react accordingly to that. Instead, if you see it going to your own account, you're going to see it more as deferred compensation. I think that will be more positive in terms of encouraging better labor supply. Third, just some, I have a spelling error, I apologize for that. Just some additional tweaks there. You'd have automatic annuitization of the accounts at retirement. I'd eliminate the payroll tax at age 62 to encourage people to work longer. I think that could be actually quite effective. I would pay COLAs on what you would call a sort of a chain-weighted version of the CPI for the elderly, which would be a little bit lower than the current law, but not much. Experience rating of the DI payroll tax, and eliminate the earnings test. That just sort of fleshes things out for the purposes of the numbers I'll present.